Really, people will stop you anyway when they see you've got a double prime because everyone just seems to love twins. And then when they notice, they're just like, "Oh, are they twins?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh wow, like one's dark, one's light." They're like, "That's so unusual. I've never seen that before." Everyone just seems to be
She's having a little sing-song. Yeah.
Well, well, well. Here we are again. It's Monday. Let's talk about some good games. Passport Bros have been trending heavy. And still shout out to them. But like I said, people need to understand the full scope of things versus hopping on a train for primal pleasures. The whole Passport Bro movement, again, it is an answer to the issues that we've been having mainland, but you must look at the realistic outcome that you're going to get. If you feel that you're going to be moving, surely it is not just motivated by the quality of women. Surely it is motivated by business opportunities, the expansion of your culture. You're looking for a higher purpose. You're just looking to relocate for a better quality of life, not just for the type of women you're going to meet. Now, they had a story that came out about a Brazilian woman who was 19 and gave birth to twins with two different fathers, which means she had sex with these men unprotected in the same day. So what that does is put a black eye on the passport movement to go to Brazil and it is a million places you can go to find beautiful women. I think Brazil is one of the hot spots. Brazil, Colombia, Dominican, places like that for the type of women that, they kind of run into in the States when it comes to an aesthetic look. But women are women everywhere. And I had an opposite opinion about this, that women weren't women everywhere, but in most cases, I mean, you just look at some of the odd couples when you go out of town to your Miamis. Just look around and see the type of man versus the woman. Most people are race loyal, absolutely, but there is one thing that does not have a color, and that is money, status, and power. So women everywhere will always gravitate to that man who has that power, which comes in many different packages. You got power from a social standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint. You have different types of power. Different women are going to be drawn to different types of power depending on where they are in their life. So if you think you're going to go overseas, you may deal with a woman who's fundamentally based in morals, come from a two-parent home, have a certain reverence for men and masculinity. Absolutely. But again, you must ask, if the women are so welcoming to American men and they're just all that in a bag of chips, why haven't their own men married them? Or why haven't they married their own men if they're any different from women in the U.S.? If the women in the U.S. are hell-bent on salary, and again, we always tell you those standards only qualify for the guys who they truly do not want. So they must have these things in place because they know in most cases at the age that they're now requiring these standards, they know the man may not be as physically appealing or may not have the swag or the drip or the extra things that women usually are going to go for, or that the things that they went for in their youth, which again was tricked against them. They wasted their youth chasing a man who cannot be caught. So now the man, the fall guy, he has to meet all of these unrealistic standards and expectations. But anyway, women are going to gravitate to this power, this status, money. They're gonna go where that is abundant, no matter where you go in the country. So you're going to a place, again, they don't see you a lot in these spaces. They see you here and there, but in a lot of cases, the guys are not really attractive to the women on that other side either. Women are visual creatures. I don't care what anyone has told you. They're just as visual. Again, this is why they juggle so many different men. This is why they'll never be loyal to that one man. It will be a rare thing. But in most cases, he's going to possess all of those attributes. He's going to be the unicorn. This is why she said, well, if he's making this, they have all of these crazy expectations to what will make them submit or feminine, when that's not the case. But you go overseas, you go to Thailand, women are women. Power, dominance, charisma, charm is going to have to be universal. You're going to have to know how to interact and deal with women no matter where you go. Women are not going to be waiting with the red carpet because you're in Brazil with a passport. It does not happen that way. See, you think these women don't have access to certain media. It's only a few countries that have banned social media, such as China, strong communist countries, your Russias, your Chinas, North Koreas, etc. They've banned certain programming from their country. So and by banning it, they pretty much are protecting their citizens from being indoctrinated with Western ideology, certain cultural deficiency. This is why in the black community, rap, you turn on the radio and listen to the music, it sounds very remedial. You can barely understand what they're saying. And you're asking yourself, how is this such a hot song? Well, you have to look at the audience that is consuming it. Look at the audience that's consuming the music, the NBA young boys, when you listen to something, like, what is this? It sounds remedial. It doesn't even sound developed, but it has a nice beat and a nice cadence and the melody. And you have these kids listening to this every day, basically getting dumber. So the media that you have as a woman here in the States, and men as, here in the States, these women in Dominican, Brazil, they have access to this as well. So they can easily look at what the women are doing here and just play the role and do the opposites. The chameleon effect is very real here and abroad. These women are so great in their own land. Why haven't the men in that land married them? Make it make sense. This woman is 19, giving birth, which means she more likely got pregnant at 18. Or she was, already in this behavior, in this activity at 18. The grass is only greener where you water it. Now, I'll say that again. The grass is only greener where you water it. If you go over here with the intention that these women are easier, they're going to just submit to me and be more feminine, that is bullshit. I always say, when you dig one grave, you might as well dig two. Your intentions are not even pure. You're just thinking you're going to get an easy lay. It costs money to get over to these places. Time, money, and effort. But women are women everywhere. The chameleon effect, they know how to speak. They know what to say. They know how to not answer direct questions, because their answers are going to be deceptive, and they know they can't tell the truth about who they really are. This is why I don't condone, the panel discussions going into the women's shows and all. They're not genuine. They're not going to keep it real. They're going to let bullshit slide every time. They're not going to answer direct questions. They're going to deflect. So it's pointless to have a conversation with them. The only thing you can do with her is watch her behavior. And you make your own analysis and your own judgments based on that. And woman, it is very rare. A woman is usually honest with you out of anger and pretty much a loss of respect. If she doesn't respect you, she'll be honest. If she's angry at you, which in a lot of cases that respect pretty much hangs in the balance, she will be honest with you then. She will not just be open and honest with you outright. Because she knows she has a past and she has gotten away with things and has skeletons in her closet that she's ashamed of, and she cannot expose that or show or try to show any symbol that she has this going on. But we already know, because you don't get to a certain age in life without having this as a woman. We just look at your patterns. We just look at your behavior. We look at your presence. Where are you putting your body in? What spaces are you frequenting? What locations are you traveling to? Because you have to tell us, because you have to get the social credit for being able to go to these places, being able to do these things. So it's impossible for you to go somewhere out of town and not show the world that you went out of town. We know this. If a woman goes out of town, she's going to tell the world. Best believe that. She's going to let you know she's in Miami. She's going to let you know she's in Tulum. She's going to let you know she's in the Bahamas. If y'all follow OG Percy, said it best. I never met one person who can hold water. Not one. So we know that you got into these ages and positions based upon previous choices that you made. And a lot of those choices center around men. I told you I used to work with a young chick, great at basketball. She threw her basketball career away for a guy. And S is that guy still in her life. Well, we wouldn't know, but she's not married to him. Let's just say that. Could have went and played overseas, made a great career, life for herself, chose to stay here. And now she's a baby mother. Ignorance is bliss. But you must understand, chameleons, they always say, they use word salad. They will never answer a question direct unless you apply major pressure. You have to ask the question 6 different ways to get one straight answer. And these questions usually are simple. That's why, again, having the discussions with these women is usually pointless. Just watch what they do. But you're not going to go to these other spaces in the world and think women are not going to be women, or these women are different. They may be slightly different, but under the right environment, we all go back to our natural ways. If you're alpha, if you're beta, you're going to go into that space no matter what type of situation that you're in. And especially if pressure is involved, expectation to perform is involved, you're going to resort to your natural state. No amount of muscle, no amount of makeup, no amount of anything can change that. No, you can't speak your way out of these situations. The situations are real, and you will show your true self. Be aware of the chameleon effect. I think I'm going to do a full video on that. Chameleons are very real. They look the part. They can speak. They know how to maneuver, but you can still see a chameleon. You look long enough. Oh, that's wow. Oh, it's blending in, but it has to move. It has to show you that it can do what it does. You notice this? You see a chameleon, so that's a chameleon. They're going to make themselves known at some point. You just have to continue looking, look harder, look at a different angle. They're going to reveal themselves because they can't stay that way forever. It is a chameleon because it blends in when it needs to. But there's a lot of tactics, word play, social media display. They can blend in very well because it's always a tier. It's a hierarchy. Some women are more socially inept than others. Some are smarter than others. Some recognize certain decisions. They say, oh, I don't want to look like a hoe. Let me not post that. Or she looks stupid. Let me not say that. Or they doing it. Let me not post as much as these people are posting because that's going to make me look more exclusive. It's all type of tricks and the tricks of the trade. And we've mastered them. You know, they come out with these new ones, you know, but for the most part, we got it down to a science. We got a good list for you guys. But that's going to do it for this video today. It's Good Monday, getting the lab, grind, new content on the way. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Day Master.